Tanya from Asteco. Now, there is a time and place for strategic thought leadership. However, in this video series, we would like to celebrate action leadership, the people who are demonstrating bigger consumer adoption by making it easier and simpler to use. And so I am delighted to welcome here today Roy, co-founder and CEO of Breeze. Roy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Tanya. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. So if you could just go ahead and share with us who you are and what your background is, it would be lovely.
Sure. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Breeze. I've been doing different projects in the Israeli high-tech industry in the past 25 years now. I have software engineering background, kind of developed to more traditional technical product management role. Previously to Breeze, I was the co-founder and a CTO of an enterprise B2B collaboration company called Harmony. And I've been doing Bitcoin and Lightning since early 2018 as the co-founder and CEO of Breeze.
What is Breeze?
Breeze is a company that wants to help Bitcoin transform from store of value to a medium of exchange. And we're developing tools and services that are built on top of the Lightning Network in order to help ordinary non-tech savvy users use the Lightning Network and interact in the Lightning Network.
Why did you decide to start Breeze?
Breeze was founded by myself, but not just by myself and two other co-founders, Akiba and Roy. We started Breeze in order to help Bitcoin evolve from a digital gold to a medium of exchange, to an everyday today currency. We want people to use Bitcoin. We want people to transact in Bitcoin. We want people to pay for their groceries, for their fast food, for their everyday commerce in Bitcoin. That's why we started Breeze.
How is Breeze helping drive consumer adoption of Bitcoin?
That's a complicated question. I'll try to simplify the answer. Our strategy is twofold. On one level, we create the Breeze wallet. We have an app out there that helps people interact with the Lightning Network and send Bitcoin transactions fast, cheaply, in a scalable manner. That's the Breeze app that most of the people in the Bitcoin Lightning ecosystem are familiar with. But we're also been working on the Breeze SDK. The Breeze SDK is a non-custodial Lightning as a service, meaning we're offering our platform in a form of a software developer kit to other companies, other vendors, other services, in order for them to integrate Lightning payments into their own services and applications.
Okay, perfect. So could you go ahead and give us a practical example of how the Breeze SDK would look for a transaction or something going on in the web?
Sure. So we're working with many partners that are interested in integrating Lightning payments into their solutions. For example, we're working with a company with a Swiss brokerage company called Relay. And Relay is a company that offers you the ability to buy Bitcoin using the blockchain, using layer one, using on-chain transactions. And now they're integrating the Breeze SDK in order to help you buy Bitcoin faster and cheaper using the Lightning Network. Lightning is Bitcoin. It's very important to understand that Lightning is Bitcoin. It's just more scalable form of interacting with Bitcoin. And this scalability has as specific advantages. It makes the transactions cheaper over time, and it has an advantage of instant settlement, meaning instead of waiting for on-chain confirmation, in Lightning, the transactions are lightning fast. It's very quick to interact using the Lightning Network. So a Swiss brokerage like Relay are using the Breeze SDK to offer lightning fast Bitcoin purchases. A company, a healthcare company like Rad Health is using the Breeze SDK in order to help people settle different medical bills using the Lightning Network. A company like Bitbox, who has a hardware wallet, is using the Breeze SDK in order to help their hardware wallet users interface with the Lightning Network. There are various partners working in different verticals in integrating the Breeze SDK into their own specific domains, tailored to their own specific needs.
How is Breeze opening the world to peer-to-peer payments to people?
We just make it simple and accessible. Previously to Breeze, it was quite hard to interact with the Lightning Network. You had to understand the technical artifacts of the Lightning Network. Breeze tried to obfuscate all the underlying complexity from end users and just offer them an interface to the Lightning Network in a way that they see, in a similar way that they have in different applications. And that's the goal with the Breeze end user interface. And that's the goal also with the Breeze SDK. We make Lightning Network very accessible to developers. So instead of becoming a Lightning expert in order to build a solution that involves the Lightning Network, with the Breeze SDK, you just need to interact with a very simple API in order to send or receive Lightning transactions.
How would you say that you've applied the same thing to your app partners, providers?
Making it simple for people to interact with Lightning, that's the common thread. We're making it simple for end users to interact with the Lightning Network, and we're making it very easy for developers to interact with the Lightning Network. We're lowering the barrier of entry when it comes to the technical complexities, both for end users and for developers.
Can you please tell us more about how Breeze Mobile, what is Breeze Mobile really, and how does this help mass adoption, create Bitcoin mass adoption?
Breeze Mobile is the end user consumer app that we've started working on back in 2018. And that's an app, a non-custodial Lightning app that allows you to send and receive Lightning transactions. But it's not just a Lightning wallet. It also contains different experiences that interface with the Lightning networks. More specifically, it contains a point of sale interface that allows merchants to receive payments in Lightning Network. And for example, people that don't have access to bank accounts, they can just install the Breeze app, switch to the point of sale mode, and start accepting payments, even if they don't have access to a bank account. That's one example. Another example that exists in the Breeze app is the podcasting app. We have a podcast interface, believe it or not, that allows you to stream sats to content creators, to podcasters, while you're listening to their podcast. So it's a peer-to-peer experience between Breeze users and podcasters, and it's all facilitated through the Lightning Network. End users are actually streaming Satoshis in a peer-to-peer manner directly to podcasters without any third parties involved. There are many other experiences that are baked into the Breeze app, but this is the core functionality.
And what advice would you give to people who are exploring adopting Bitcoin into their day-to-day lives, since Breeze is lowering the standards?
I'm not I'm not a Bitcoin evangelist in a sense that I encourage people that don't need Bitcoin to use Bitcoin. I think people that need Bitcoin and need to use Bitcoin, they're finding the right tools and the right means for them to interact with Bitcoin. We're seeing an increasing number of users that are being onboarded to the Lightning Network, specifically in this high fee environment. The way to mitigate the high fee environment of Bitcoin is using the Lightning Network more and more. And we're seeing that happening lately. So what I typically encourage people is to download multiple apps, download multiple wallets, interact with as many services as you can and you need. And don't use Bitcoin if you don't need to use Bitcoin. Use Bitcoin only if it solves a real life problem for you.
Wonderful. And what's the biggest challenge then for consumer adoption in 2024 that you see?
I think the high fee environment will remain. I think, and that presents a challenge to end users to onboard to the Lightning Network. I would just recommend one thing. If you're thinking about interacting in Bitcoin, meaning executing on-chain transaction, instead think about doing your first steps in the Lightning Network, because if you'll do your first steps in the Lightning Network, you can pay for a Lightning channel already in advance and be prepared better for a high fee environment situation. But a high fee environment will present challenge to end users. Other than that, there's still a challenge when you want to off ramp from Bitcoin to fiat. Off ramping is still an issue. Luckily, we have a nice on ramp solutions. Atsteco is one of them, but off ramping is still a bit of a challenge. So if you are thinking of using Bitcoin as a bridge solution and then off ramp back to fiat, think about it in advance and make sure you have the ability to convert your Bitcoins to fiat.
Can you please go ahead and share with us what are Breeze social medias and websites so people can find you?
Sure. So we're on X, on Twitter, Breeze_tech, Breeze without an E at the end, BREEZ, no E. Breeze_tech on Twitter. We have a very interesting Medium publication, Breeze Technology on Medium. And all the links and all the contact details are all on our site, breeze.technology.
Do you have any final comments or any kind of information you would like to share with us today?
Feel free to reach out if you're interested in Bitcoin, if you're interested in Lightning. I'm very accessible. So if you want to continue the discussion offline, I'm here at your service.
Thank you so much for your time, Roy. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Tanya. Thank you.